clearly have a new arrival, and it's a black man. And I'm getting out of my car, or the car, thinking like, oh, okay, cool, like there's a black person. Like, I was about to smile and say hi and just be like, what's up, just be friendly, because we're the only two black motherfuckers in here. I get out of the car, smile, he looks at me and then looks away and keeps walking. And this is an issue that I have been experiencing abroad no matter where I go. The black men look at you like, why the fuck are you here, bitch, the fuck, and will not talk to you. They won't say hi, they won't crack a smile, none of that. And it's the weirdest thing to me. I understand a lot of you black men, especially from America and the UK, are traveling looking for white girls, Indonesian girls, Thai girls, any other ethnicity of woman who is not black. I understand that. But that doesn't mean that you have to completely ostracize your community. I'm not checking for you like that. But at the very least, we could say hi. We could give each other a head nod. We could be friendly. Because guess what? We have a lot in common. We come from the same community. We come from the same background. We come from the same struggles. We come from the same life experience. And it kills me, because every time, 99% of the time, when I see a black man abroad, he looks at me like, bitch, why the fuck are you here? And immediately looks to the side and keeps it pushing. And I just don't get it. When I meet black women, when I come across black women, it's always like, hi, oh my gosh, hey, you look beautiful, hi, nice to meet you. Even if we don't stop and have a full conversation, we're gonna smile and wave at each other and compliment each other or something. We're going to say hi. And I don't know when us as a community lost that, or the black men lost that, because the black women, we get it. And this is not just my experience. I was with a group of black people earlier this week, and this topic of conversation came up, and it's the same thing. They've experienced the same thing. Black men will look at us like, why the fuck are you here? And completely ignore us. And I don't know what's gonna fix it, but black men, we are the only women who have been here for y'all no matter what. Protect y'all, listen to y'all, care about y'all, love y'all. And for us to be treated like second-class citizens within our own community is fucking insane. Like I said, I get it. You're not trying to fuck a black woman or have a relationship with a black woman or have a family with that's okay. I'm not checking for y'all either. But at least we can be friendly. If somebody else has experienced this or knows why this is, I mean, I know why it is, but really wants to delve deep down into the reason why this is, please comment below and let me know, because this shit, it really, really irks my fucking nerves. It takes absolutely nothing for a smile and a hi for those of your same fucking community. I have to make this video and say something.
Hey yo, what's happening, black men? E aí, preto hermano. Now in this one, it's funny because the last couple days I've had no real motivation or maybe desire to record a video. Every time I get on my computer, I'm looking at all the videos I have, lined up. I think I told you guys in a prior video that I keep everything organized on my computer screen, so I don't have to think about it too much on what I'm going to record today. And every time I get on the computer, I'm looking. I kid you not. Sometimes a complete hour will go past, right? An entire 60 minutes. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, you know what? Maybe I'll record tomorrow. And, one thing I did mention in one of my prior videos is that time heals the wound, right? You can put peroxide on it, you can put alcohol on it, you can put a band-aid, a gauze, all that kind of stuff over the wound, but time heals, right? And this video is particularly, right, I was gonna actually talk about, having the motivation and well, you know what? Let me get into it. So you saw the black women talking about how black men abroad, don't talk to her or are not looking to talk to black women in general, right? And if you need to go back, at the end of that video, she said, I know why. At the end of the video, she said, I know why. I understand why. So why are you complaining? You know why black men not talking to you. She said, I understand you black men, you're not looking to date a black woman, get into a relationship with a black woman, put your dick inside of a black woman. So why do you care? Right? Why are you online talking about it, black men? And see, I think I mentioned this a couple videos back. They know they are the problem. They know they're the problem. They know that black men are trying to get the hell away from you bitches. See, one thing I find so funny, right, when it comes to this whole traveling thing, right? First of all, black men, I've been told you guys, you should gatekeep. You should gatekeep on where you're going. You should gatekeep on the content. You should gatekeep the information because wherever you go, black women go. Granted, black women do travel more often than black men, but they only go to the places that black men have already deemed as travelable, right? You don't have groups of black women traveling to Kyrgyzstan. You don't have groups of black women traveling to India. You don't have groups of black women traveling to China. You don't even have groups of black women. Well, maybe, but you don't really have groups of black women traveling to Africa. I mean, and even when you do have a few, you guys saw the black woman in Morocco who was kidnapped and like, held for ransom or something like that. You know what I mean? So you got this black chick over here talking about how black men abroad don't want to talk to her. Again, when black men see her or see black women in general, they make a face like, yo, bitch, why you here? Yeah, because bitch, why you here? I paid $1,500 for a one-way flight to go 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 miles across the damn planet just to not see you. See, right? She mentioned how black men from America, from the UK, Canada, listen, those black men who are still in those locations in the Western world, granted, some want to get away but can't afford to. But the overwhelming majority that's left there, listen, they're okay with dealing with you. And again, you know what really jacked me up, right? She kept on saying at the end of the video, I understand why. These are the same black men. If he was back in the home country where you guys came from, you wouldn't talk to him. You wouldn't smile at him. You wouldn't give him a head nod. And that's the same thing she was saying. Listen, oh, but we're black. Oh, we come from the same experiences. Shut the fuck up, bitch. We're trying to get the hell away from you because, listen, you don't treat black men good. Yo, I 100% get it. And let me bring it back to what I was talking about not having the motivation to record. You know, one thing in my videos, I tell you guys about semen retention. It doesn't only apply to just not having sex, right? Knowing how to transmute is going to be a positive thing that you can conquer in your life, right? Because what it allows you to do is turn emotion into productivity, right? Again, when you have that sexual urge, I mean, whatever you're trying to do, right? You take that energy and you transmute, right? Me, when I record, I'll be honest. I use the frustration, I use the anger, right? And again, like I said, with time, it heals wounds. But trust me, the longer that you keep leaving that wound exposed, a scab may grow over it, but it never properly heals. If you never actually clean the wound, it will never properly heal. Guys are, well, me, when I record, I take my frustration, I take my anger, and I transmute that into a great video. And lately, I've been thinking to myself, well, I'm not even surrounded by black women. Granted, I'm in the States still, right? But I don't live amongst them. I don't even work around them. right? So that frustration, that anger, it has diminished a lot. It's like a dying flame. I could only imagine if I'm overseas, honestly, this channel will probably just disappear because I'm not surrounded by them. I'm not even thinking about them. And that's the best part, black men. I don't think about black women, right? I don't think about them. You know, one thing I found funny, right? Some people will say, "Oh man, you're just chronically online, man. Oh, go outside and touch grass." Hold on. For all the black males and black women who talk about, "Oh, you black men, you just online. Oh, you need to go outside and touch grass." Shut the fuck up. You don't think that when the individual steps out their front door, that's being online? You're telling me what that person is going through in their day to day life, what they're looking at with their own two eyes. That's not real life. That's online stuff. You're watching too many podcasts. Shut the fuck up. You people are disingenuous. And again, you black males think just like black women because they trained you like that. And you don't know how to unplug. You don't know how to unwire that shit, man. So again, it's not even just about getting away from black women. You want to get away from those same black males because they all think the same. You have black males that look at other black men through the same lens that black women look at black men from. So pretty much it's the same carbon copy. You're dealing with like 85%. Know it? Actually, I make content for 10%. You're dealing with the same 90% of the community versus I'm sorry, you're dealing with the same 90% of the community. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. It's the same people, just a different gender. And I think to myself, well, you know, the further you get away, I promise you, black men, I promise you, black men, the further you get away from them, you will feel better. Distance and time, you will feel better. But I get it though. As a black man, yo, if I buy a plane ticket to fly to Tokyo, right? One way flight, because hold on, let me point this out. The black men they're talking about aren't the black men, maybe, some of them, maybe. But it's not the black man who's on vacation. It's the black man who chose to relocate. The black man who chose to listen, I'm done. Let me pack my bags. I'm going. If I buy a plane ticket, right? I'm flying into Tokyo, Japan, and I actually relocated, right? And here's the thing. When it comes to relocating overseas and like you're actually trying to stay, it requires skills. It requires some kind of finance. You know what I'm saying? These countries that have different visa laws, when you really look into it, that's why most people can't really afford to do it. That's why you have people trying to flood Thailand. Personally, me, I would not go to Thailand. Maybe for a very short trip, but you're bound to run into so many black women in Thailand that I would just completely stay away from that country, right? And again, black women are following you, black men, wherever you go, so they can try and spread that. What is it, man? The misandry. They want to spread that hatred of men, and not even towards other men. They want to spread hatred of black men to other groups of women. That's why I highly suggest you brothers go to places where you have a language barrier. Keisha isn't taking the time to learn a damn language. All you do is want to flood the Philippines. You want to flood Thailand. Guess what? They can speak English. All Keisha got to do is listen. Oh, listen, black men this, black men that. That's why I can guarantee you there's parts of Africa, well, pretty much all of Africa can speak English. But in certain areas, they're going to try and spread that same misandry, spread that same hatred. Matter of fact, I personally believe some of it has originated in Africa. I wouldn't be surprised, right? It just, when it got exported to the Western world, all they did was take a magnifying glass and hold it over black people. You guys know when people take a magnifying glass, put it in a certain angle and the sunlight is shining through it, and then you can like, pretty much burn whatever the light is pointing onto. It's similar to that right there. All they did, and you know who they are, right? All they did was hold a magnifying glass over us, black men. So I get it. I 100% get it. And you got this chick talking about, yo, black men abroad. Yo, you be cutting your eyes at me. Yo, black men abroad, black men abroad. Yo, black men are trying to get the fuck away. That's all black men are trying to do. Yo, all black men want is a little bit of peace. I promise you, if you black men can just experience how I feel right now, and again, I'm still in the States, right? But I can only imagine the feeling I'm feeling right now, my lack of fire to record these videos. I promise you, yo, if I get overseas, it's pretty much a wrap for Scar. Right? I might go Scar 2.0, but like the original Scar, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, them videos pretty much gonna be done. The way how I'm making like constant videos about black women right now, it, you might be lucky to get, I would say, like 5 of these videos per month. You know what I mean? Like, it's matter of fact, you might get four of these type of videos per month, one per week. I'm not giving that shit my energy no more. And again, that's how I feel right now because I'm not in close proximity to them. That's why I told you, black men, before you even get the passport, right? How about you pack your bags and move? Some of you guys are stuck in cities like Chicago. I just saw a video of and actually I made a video about this, right? The black woman who was in Chicago when those 3 Pookies ran down the car and sprayed it up with bullets, right? You had a black woman who was driving the car. You had the Pookie boyfriend or baby dad who was in the passenger seat. And then you had the child who was in the back seat. And guess what? Because Pookie thought he was gunning down other Pookie inside the car, he killed the baby mom. Only come to find out the baby mom was on whatever social platform dissing the ops. So Jesus Christ, man, bomba. Yo, I remember seeing a tweet maybe like 3 years ago of a black woman telling black men, "Save the community, black men." I made that one video like 2 years ago. I think I called it "Save These Black Boys," something like that, right? Pretty much, it's the same as saving the community. How the fuck am I supposed to save Pookie? How the fuck am I supposed to save his bastard kids? See, it's not just Keisha who we want to get away from. It's the same men you procreate with. It's those same bastards who you're trying to go apply for Section 8 with. Increase your food stamps and EBT, right? When you got these people coming through the neighborhoods doing welfare checks or wellness checks, they want to make sure there is no man inside that home. But yet you still find a way to get pregnant and have more kids. Get the fuck out of here. That's what black men want to get away from, right? I made a video, and hold on, I'm going somewhere with this. I made a video, I think I called it "Black Men Who Are Under 6 feet." That's what the fuck we want to get away from. You bitches who feel like, oh, because you're under 6 feet, you deserve nothing. Or you know what? I think you think that black men who are under 6 feet, yeah, you can still get something, but that something that you get is gonna be the lowest of lowest quality. I was gonna do a separate video about this, but I might throw it into this one and show you guys the clip. Maybe not. There was another black woman talking about how black men who travel abroad, the reason why black women are mad about that is because the black men who do go abroad and he's actually staying abroad, right? These are black men, not only, yeah, he has skills and he has money, but these are black men who are obtaining what they want. What do I mean by that? As far as when it comes to women in America or in the Western world in general, yo, black women have fucked the game up. I'm telling you, bro. As a black man, it's so many variables that make you don't want to pick black women. You know what I mean? It's so many variables, right? When you go overseas, the fact that dudes think about this, some dudes probably still don't mind being with a single mom. But guess what? You might say, "Oh, it's not real." Well, even if it's not real, excuse me, sorry. Even if it's not real, that black man can get submission. That black man can get a home cooked meal. That black man can get someone who's going to support him. That listen, even if you say it's not real, even if you say, "Oh, all she doing is selling him a dream," but he's still getting what he wants. At least he gets the dream. At least he gets the dream. I've had a black woman try to sell me a dream. Plenty of black women try to sell me a dream, but the last one who tried to sell me a dream, guess what? I did not receive any dream. Not even 25% of the dream, right? You're mad that black men are taking their money overseas and spending it on women again, whether she is truly in love with him, whether she wants I mean, first of all, you can't even talk about oh she wants a green card. Nobody is looking to come to America under this dumbass president we have, Mr. Orange Man. Nobody's looking to come to America with that crap going on. And not only that, the days of coming to America for the American dream, those days are done. Most of these countries now have exploded as far as in tourism, GDP, HDI. Like that's done, dude. People can become successful in their own countries. No need to just trying to go to America. The only time people will actually flee their country is unless there's war. If there's no war, I promise you, most people, yeah, they might visit America, but the days of she wants a green card, she want to come to America. No, the fuck they don't. Only black women are still talking that shit. Only bitter ass women who don't want you to go overseas and just put a fucking smile on your face. You know what? I'm telling you, I lost the fire sometimes, but it just takes a little bit for me to just talk and things just they get to flowing like a waterfall. You know, I made that one video called Being Happy. When you saw that young black man jump off that plane in Tokyo, or maybe he was in Osaka, and he was smiling from ear to ear like the Joker, from ear to ear like the Kool-Aid man. That's a feeling that you do not get with black women, right? That brother was showing all 32 teeth in his mouth, smiling from ear to ear. Yo, keep it a stack. Brothers aren't even looking for the most drop dead gorgeous runway model 10 out of 10. Guys just want to be happy. As a black man, when you pack your bags, whether it's for a 2 week vacation, 4 week vacation, whether you pack your bags and say, listen, I'm going overseas permanently, all brothers want to do is smile. That's all black men want to do is smile, bro. That's why when we go overseas, and I'll be honest, the same way how you have veterans who suffer from PTSD, yo, black men, keep it a buck. I'm still one of them. I suffer from PTSD. And when as a black man, you pay 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. I mean, if you buying a one-way flight, okay, maybe let's say 900, 800. When you pay that money for that one-way flight, especially for a one-way, right? Especially for a one-way ticket, man, and you show up to wherever you show up at, then you see black women, it's like, what the fuck? I paid all this money to get away, and I'm still running into you. And see, it's one thing to maybe see one of them. Granted, a lot of you brothers, you're going to places, like I said, they're following you. They're following you. You're going to places where not only are you going to see one black woman, You're going to see groups of black women, right? That's why I said, yo, I'm not going to Thailand. And if I do go to Thailand, you got to travel to places when uh peak tourism is down. So, right, in America, when do most people have the time to travel? In the summertime or maybe around holidays. So if you can travel there outside of that block, man, you'll be all right. But let me bring it back, right? Let me bring it back because you know, black women want you to stay in America or the UK or Canada and save that fucking community that they have designed. Now, me being a black man in America, I can't talk about what's happening in the UK or Canada, but black women want you to stay in America and protect. Not hold on, forget protection. They want you to just provide for the bastards in that community. They want you to keep your. They want you to stay around and take whatever money you're making and spend it on them, even though you can't even get the good treatment. She won't respect you for doing it. She won't love you for doing it. But she feel like, well, listen, nobody else deserves to have a black man. No, you're our property. Fuck you. You're not nobody's property, black man. And see, you know what kills me about that whole video? She said, I understand why. Black men, because they know. They know how they treat you back in America. They know how they laugh at you back in America. They know how they try to point out certain. Listen, you got black women. I talk about this all the time. I heard this out the mouth of a young 19-year-old dyke black woman. You're not a fucking man, right? Furthest thing from a man. You're not tough. You're not masculine. You're a woman. It don't matter how much you sag your pants. It don't matter how street you think you are. You're a woman, right? But you hate yourself that much. Those same black men who are down low that you raise, those same black men who become Transformers, Decepticons, right? He go in the phone booth like Clark Kent and transform. Listen, that's the same black men that you raised. That 19-year-old black woman told me, based off a man's lips, you can tell if he is 6AY gay. How? So how can a physical characteristic, right? How can you take somebody's facial features and correlate that with a sexual orientation? But see, that's how much black women think they can read you. So when she says, I understand, right? You understand that the men that you're talking about are the same men who you wouldn't pick, the same men who you would use for a dinner date, the same men who you're not trying to give no pussy to, the same men who you would just laugh at, the same men who you talk down to, the same men when people talk about, oh, you watching too much podcast, oh, get offline, bro, go outside and touch grass. Motherfucker, I have to live my life every day. I have to live my life every day. Last time I checked, bills aren't free. Apartment rent isn't free. Internet is not free. My electric bill is not free. My car is not free. Right? I need money. So guess what? I have to step outside and work. I have to go out and do everything else in my life. Grocery shop, work a job, right? Some of you guys, you might be young enough to be in college, right? You went to school, you went to high school. You work in certain environments around them, so you understand exactly how they treat you. But yet, people tell you you're watching too much podcasts. You're watching too much Kevin Samuels. Look at how black women laughed and championed the fact that Kevin Samuels passed away. Oh, he was with a Latina. So the fuck what? But you laugh at a man who all he tried to do was help black women. No one talks about how he was talking to black men, trying to help black men, but you point at the fact that, oh, he told black women, you need to get with the man before you die alone. You're 40 years old. You're 50 years old and you're still worrying about a man being over 6 feet and making six figures. Half you, forget half, no, forget 75. I can guarantee 90% of black women, let's keep it on America, you have never been with a man who is making six figures. And if you did, all you did was get fucked by him. All he did was probably knock you up and left you the fuck alone. But you feel like that's your new standard. See, this is what I'm talking about. As a black man, when you get that damn plane ticket, you want to get away from all that trauma, because that's all it is, black men. It's just trauma. That's why when you jump off that plane, you walk to your hotel, you walk to your Airbnb, you walk into the restaurant, and then you see a black woman. It's like, what the fuck, bitch? Why are you here? That's exactly why she said that. Yes, bitch, why are you here? I paid all this fucking money to get away, and you're still trying to follow me. Yes, you may not be following that particular individual, but we paid this money to get away. We paid this money to get away. I don't want to see you. Yes, it's down to the fact that as a black man, you don't even want to see them. Why are you here? See, and that's why when I talk about that passport stuff, I talk about it for 10%. Because it's not just Keisha. I don't want to see Glocktavius with dreadlocks and tattoos and grills in his mouth, and this nigga can barely talk in a complete sentence. I don't want to see this nigga overseas. But that's why I told you, brothers, listen, if you pull up somewhere where there's a language barrier, you pull up somewhere where, let's keep it a stack. You have the simps and you have Pookie, right? You may have a few that can have some dollars to travel. Guess what? He can't stay. I make content for the black men who go abroad, and you're looking to stay. What's going to allow you to stay? The fact that you either have skills or you already have an abundance of money, right? So that means you can actually apply for a long-term visa. That's why I told you, brothers, stay away from Thailand. I understand it's a good entry point, but it's too much easy access. It's too much easy access. There are other places you can go to. You don't have to just go to Thailand. I understand the convenience. I understand healthcare. I get that. I get that. Trust me, I get it. But if you really want to get away, I'm telling you, pick the place you want to go to wisely. Right? And after all of this, let's bring it back to proximity, right? Let's say you go abroad and you choose to live there. Guess what? The black woman you're looking at, unless you're in Thailand, because that's a different story, but the black woman you're looking at, guess what? She might be here for a week. She might be here for 2 weeks, but guess what, black man? She's going back to the UK. She's going back to Canada. She's going back to America, right? She's going back. So ultimately, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry, right? Even with me being here in America, again, I told you guys, proximity to them is what's going to always have you frustrated. That's why, I every now and then I lose the flame, right? And I realize when I work around black women, it fuels that flame, right? It just keeps on burning hotter and hotter. If you guys know anything about fire, right? When you light a fire, whether it's from a lighter, a gas stove, the candle lighter, the blue part of the flame, it burns hotter than the actual orange red part. This is some nerd stuff right now, but growing up I used to love watching Avatar, the last Airbender. And if you guys remember Azula, who was what was his name? Chico? The guy who was hunting Aang. I forgot his name, but remember his sister, right? His sister had blue flames when she used to firebend, and that's because her flames were blue because of the rage and the anger inside of her. So it made her flame, it made her fire burn at a hotter temperature. Like I just said, when you light the fire on a gas stove or a lighter on the fire on a lighter or even a candle lighter, man, you see the base of the flame burns blue because that's where it's hotter at. That same rage, yo, black man, use that. Transmute that same anger, that same frustration. Transmute that into some form of productivity so you can get the hell away, man. And again, proximity. Proximity and time, black man. I'm telling you, proximity and time. Maybe after being away from black women, I would say 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you might not have that same rage no more, but you're gonna always remember. Just like PTSD, you're gonna always remember those traumas, right? And sometimes, black men, when you're abroad, like the woman said, when you see a black woman, it brings back so many bad memories. I can think about it, dude. I can think about so many things where I'm just like, man, even sometimes when you want to be, hopeful, the wishful thinking, it's like, nah, you guys have proven me wrong so many times. That's why, because if you want to talk about it, right? Are there good black women out here? Whether you're talking about black women in America, black women in the UK, Canada, South America, Brazil, Africa, are there good black women available? Mathematically speaking, yes. But the time is going to take for you to find that black woman, right? And again, let's just talk about in the Western world. Technically, Brazil and the South American, Central American countries are in the Western world, but we know that culture plays a part into things. But like I said, I personally believe that mindset, it originates in Africa. So all they did when they brought every single African slave over here to the Western world, they just figured out how to magnify those mindsets and that tendency, man. So I think it just might actually be worse, right? Like I said, dude, I get it with black men, dude. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I 100% get it. You're just trying to get the hell away. And I support that. I support trying to get away because no one should have to deal with that mindset no more. Right. And like I said, it's not just Keisha, it's the community. You realize the community is so fucked up to where you can't even trust black males. Right. That's why I make content for 10%. 10% of black men, you know what I'm talking about. You know how I feel because why we live the same experience. You know, I saw something recently and it just resonated with me, right? I saw something that was saying, as a black man, if you're not a thug or an athlete, you're gay. And I'm just thinking, damn, there's no in between. That is the in between part, right? If you're not so far thugged out to the point to where you're going to prison, and it made me, oh God, I saw something else, but I'll talk about that later, maybe in a different video. If you're not so thugged out to where your lifestyle is going to end you up in a prison cell or a casket, or you're just some athlete, you're gay. God forbid you're a black man with an education. God forbid you're a black man who speaks in complete sentences. God forbid you're a black man who tucks in his shirt and read books. God forbid you're a black man who can hold down a job. God forbid you're a black man, you know where your birth certificate is. You have a good credit score. You're a black man who, take care of himself. You smell good. You keep your hair washed. You clip your nails. Like, God forbid. And hold on. You do all those things, but you're under 6 feet. Yo, black women are for sure gonna call you gay. You know, like I said, I had a old black woman in her 50s tell me you can look at a man, and she's talking about a black man, obviously. She's not talking about white zaddy, but you can look at a black man, and she said you can look into his eyes and tell he's gay. You don't look at that same nigga in prison who's having sex with other inmates, right? You don't think he's gay. You know, I tell this story all the time. I saw a black male, straight 100% Pookie, 6'4", right? Tattoos on his face, tattoos on his neck, gold fronts in his mouth. And guess what he was doing with the transformer? He was with a transformer. But black women, you're not going to talk about how he's gay. You're not going to talk about how he's having sex with men. You don't look at him and say, "Oh, based off his lips, he's gay." Because why? He has tattoos. He's tough. He has dreadlocks. Or he's a thug. He has gold fronts and bad speech. Oh, he's gangster. He's a killer. You know what I'm saying? All those stupid ass stuff. But you don't listen. Those are the same dudes who are down low. But you don't say, "Oh man, listen, Gloctavius, he's the reason why HIV is so bad in the black community." When black women catch HIV, who do you think they're catching it from? Not the openly gay black man who, he might be feminine, but he's still a man, but, he's just openly gay. No, you catch HIV, you catch herpes from down low Gloctavius who goes in and out of prison because why? His boyfriend's in prison, but you don't call him gay. You know, one thing when I was in Atlanta, and this is why I don't trust people who want to go down there. I was fooled going down there. One thing about Atlanta, right? I would never forget. I saw an Instagram page where they were exposing thugs, right? They were exposing thugs who go in and out of prison, but yet he's dating transformers on the streets when he's free. I also saw a video clip of a transformer who was saying that, listen, he doesn't look for openly gay black men. He's not looking for other transformers. He's not looking for black men who dress straight, right? He dresses like a actual man, but he's openly gay. No, they're looking for guys who are in the closet. They're looking for down low men. And he specifically said, "I like thugs. I like hood niggas." Because why? If you look at how they have hyper masculine, if you look at how they have hyper masculinized, am I saying that right? If you look at how they if you look at the hyper masculinity of the thug, right? And how they associate homosexuality with the thug, those guys go to prison, right? We all knows what happened in prison. Growing up, we all saw those movies on BET. God. See, black man, I'm showing you something. I'm pointing it out. Everything I'm talking about is what you're trying to get away from. But when you see who champions it, when you see who promotes it, when you see who advocate for it, yes, I understand the white man. He has designed everything, right? I understand this is his science project. But guess who's getting an A on that project? Guess who's championing his design? Guess who advocates for it? Guess who supports it? Guess who's the number one beneficiary of The failure of the black community. And I'm going to end it like this. And this is what black men are trying to get away from when we pay, even with Trump doing this whole war with Iran, gas prices are up. I would still, and not just me, I bet you plenty of black men, because why? Black men talk to me about this, not online, in my actual day-to-day life. When I step outside and I'm talking to black men, yo, most black men right now, they'll just rather be single, kick their feet up, and guess what? I don't have to worry about nothing. You waste your time getting with a Keisha. Now you got all these problems. Now you got to worry about stuff. That's why, yo, I keep saying I'm gonna wrap it up, but I'm not envious of no black man I see with a black woman. I don't care if that black woman you with got a shelf booty, my nigga. I'm talking about an ass so fat you can put a plate on top of it. I don't care if that bitch look like Carrie Hilson. I don't care if that bitch look like Meg Thee Stallion, right? Because I know for a fact you black men are not getting treated good. Even Glocktavius. I've seen that with my own two eyes. Glocktavius don't get treated good. Yeah, he might get sex up front, but he still get talked down to, because guess what? Black women are looking for a situation that she can control. Because when they look at you, black men, it's about control. She knows when she get with a white man, there is no control. She know when she get with a Latino man, there is no control. She know when she get with an Asian man, if these men even want her, there is no control. He runs shit. And guess what? The moment you act up, that's the funny part, black men. These men don't waste no time to put their hands on her. Look at how white men, all they do is kill black women. But yet these white men, some go to jail, some don't. But guess what? He's not dealing with that from somebody who he looks at as beneath him. Oh my goodness. Like I said, black men, by the time you guys might come across that so-called good black woman, and again, mathematically speaking, sure, just off the fact that there's millions of black women walking the planet, right? But let's just keep it on America. Yeah, there's millions of black women walking in America. Are you going to meet that good one? No. Have you probably met a good one? Maybe, right? But those same good ones are so far few and in between, you might as well not even look. And let me just bring it right back to proximity, right? I told you guys how earlier, me not being around them, my flame to record, my flame, my desire, my motivation to record these videos, yeah, sometimes it dwindles, sometimes it diminishes, because I'm not even thinking about black. Like when I go to sleep at night and wake up in the morning, the first thing on my mind is not a black woman. Now, as the day progresses, do I think about black women? Nope. Am I trying to smash black women? Nope. If a black woman threw some pussy at me right now, would I even want it? Nope. I'd say maybe like 75%. That 75% is a straight no. That 25%, she has to fit exactly what I want. How many black women fit what I want? I think I've talked about this multiple times about my standard, right? And if I haven't, let me say it one last time. And think about how many black women I've eliminated just because I have a simple standard. Everything that I can, or I'm sorry, everything that I require from them, I can reciprocate it. All I want you to do is just be natural, right? Natural body, natural hair. Whether it's locks or afro, just off of that, that's like what, 75, 60% of black women? Let's say 60%. I want you to weigh less than what I weigh. That means you can't be fat. Okay, you can be thick and weigh a little bit more than what I weigh. But how many black women are actually in good shape? So let's say it's 60%. Now I upped it to pretty much 80%. No tattoos. That's pretty much 90% of black women. That remaining 10%, yo, like I said, you would think I'm asking for too much. Those are three things that I require from them that I can reciprocate back. Obviously, I'm not wearing no wig or no weave, but I'm in shape and I don't have tattoos. Just those three things I have eliminated. Just those three things I have condemned, what, 90% of black women? That's why I showed you guys in that one video, when it comes to consistency, right, across the board within these other groups. And that's why I encourage black men to date out. Again, I'm not saying you need to look for the runaway model, right? That 10-10. You don't need that. But you have a consistent standard just off of the three things I just named, right? You can find that within every other group easy. And on top of the fact, I should throw this in there too. And this pretty much knocks out black women 100%. You can't be a single mom. Don't get me wrong, Latinas are single moms too, but at least within America, you have a higher number of women who fit that standard in every other group. So imagine taking that standard overseas. Yo, black men, you have abundance. That's why black women don't want you overseas. Because why? You can actually get what your money is worth. You can actually get what you want. Black men, black men, black men. Trust me, I get it. I 100% get it, man. Black men abroad. Keep on going abroad. I make content for 10% black men. Guess what? Your goal is to get abroad. And not only get abroad, stay abroad. So guess what? You need to have some kind of skills that can get you abroad, keep you abroad, and then once you get abroad, you can figure out how to develop more income, put your skills to the test, right? You trust me, man. Everything will click. Everything will click. But I'm telling you, if you're focused on trying to impress black women, you're focused on trying to increase your leg count, you want to conform for black women, trust me, you're going to be right there in the UK. You're going to be right there in America, just stuck. Just fucking stuck and you're miserable. And again, do you have to go overseas? No. I encourage black men before you go overseas, unless you're just sick and tired, which I get it, trust me. But let's say you feel like I'm comfortable in America. I'm actually making good money. I don't want to uproot my life. All right, cool, cool, cool. Just move to a different city. Some of you black men, you're stuck in cities like Detroit. You're stuck in cities like Chicago. You're stuck in cities like Philadelphia. You're stuck in cities like Washington, D.C. You're stuck somewhere deep down south, right? Granted, you can live in a place like DC and not, well, you won't be able to avoid them. Honestly, no. No, you can't even avoid them. Trust me, there's other places in America you can go to. Even if you don't have to live directly around them, based off some of you guys' careers, we already know black women, they dominate HR. They know which black men to hire and which one not to hire. And again, don't forget the black males, pookies. It, I'm already 50 minutes in, man. Let me go ahead and wrap it up for real. Again, proximity to them, you're gonna always be angry. You're gonna always be frustrated. Granted, is being single long term, is it healthy? No. Is going without sex long term, is it healthy? No. But it's the lesser of two bad options. Either you date black women, and again, most 90% of you black dudes are not dating any female black women of quality. You're dating a 5 or below. A 5 or below. I'm not saying you have to be with a 10, but damn. Some of you guys aren't even getting 5s. You're getting straight 4s. So anyways, A lot of you brothers, man, trust me, I get it, man. Just pack your bags and get the hell away. Anyways, let me wrap it up. I'm out. Peace.